Most people have only seen the version of this story that appears on television screens and news feeds. It is the composed version, the public one, where carefully chosen words and calm expressions hide the chaos beneath. In that version, Savannah Guthrie stands before cameras with grace, speaking thoughtfully about the disappearance of her mother, Nancy Guthrie. Viewers admire her strength and share messages of support. But behind that composed image lies a far deeper story, one that few people truly understand. Beneath the headlines is a painful reality unfolding in private, where a daughter is living through a nightmare while the entire nation watches. A life built over decades. At 54 years old, Savannah Guthrie stands at a point in life where many people expect to enjoy the rewards of decades of effort. She built a remarkable career in broadcast journalism, earning trust from millions of viewers. Through years of early mornings, demanding schedules, and constant scrutiny, she established herself as a respected voice in American television. Her professional journey required resilience, intelligence, and relentless dedication. Alongside her career, she raised 2 young children and balanced family life with an extraordinarily demanding job. At this stage of life, she had every reason to feel stable and accomplished, standing at the peak of what she spent years building. The day everything changed. That sense of stability shattered on February 1st, 2026. On that morning, Nancy Guthrie's home in Tucson, Arizona, was discovered empty. Authorities confirmed that the 84-year-old woman had been taken from her home against her will. Suddenly, a terrifying word entered the story: kidnapping. For Savannah, the moment split her life in two. Before that day, she was a journalist, a mother, and a daughter, living a successful life. After that day, she became a daughter, desperately hoping for her mother's safe return. From that moment forward, every hour carried uncertainty, fear, and the unimaginable weight of not knowing what was happening to someone she loved. Living 2 lives at once. From that day on, Savannah Guthrie has been living 2 parallel realities. In public, she remains composed and articulate. She addresses viewers, thanks investigators, and speaks carefully about the situation. Every statement is measured because investigations are delicate and words matter. But privately, she is simply a daughter enduring one of the most painful experiences imaginable. The cameras cannot capture the quiet moments when the questions arrive, where her mother is, whether she is safe, and whether she will ever come home again. The contrast between those 2 realities is staggering: a controlled public presence and a private storm of fear and grief. The cruel reality of time. One of the most frightening aspects of the situation is Nancy Guthrie's age and health. At 84 years old, she depends on regular heart medication to maintain her health. This is not optional treatment. It is essential for survival. Each passing hour without proper medical care raises the risk to her life. For Savannah, this knowledge adds an agonizing dimension to the crisis. While she speaks calmly to the public, she understands that time is not neutral. Time is pressure. Every minute carries the possibility that her mother's body is enduring strain it cannot safely handle without proper treatment and stability. Strength that comes at a cost. Many people watching Savannah Guthrie have praised her extraordinary strength. Her ability to remain calm and focused during such a crisis seems almost superhuman. Yet that strength did not appear overnight. It was shaped by a lifetime of learning how to function under pressure. Her professional career trained her to remain composed in difficult circumstances, to process information quickly, and to communicate clearly even during chaos. Those skills now help her navigate an unbearable moment. But strength can also come with a cost. The same ability to perform under pressure can make it harder to fully express fear, grief, and vulnerability. Lessons from childhood. Savannah's resilience traces back to her upbringing. Her mother, Nancy, raised her after the loss of her father and instilled a philosophy centered on determination and perseverance. The message was clear: the world rewards strength and punishes weakness. Facing challenges meant pushing forward rather than collapsing. Savannah absorbed those lessons deeply. Over time, they became part of her identity. They shaped how she approached work, relationships, and responsibility. Those lessons helped her succeed in an intensely competitive field, but they also meant that showing vulnerability was something she learned to avoid, even when facing situations that would overwhelm almost anyone else. The quiet emotional question. Beneath every achievement and every display of strength lies a quieter emotional reality. Many people spend their lives seeking reassurance from the people they love most. Success and recognition from the world can mean a great deal, but they rarely replace the comfort of unconditional love from family. For Savannah, her mother has always been one of the most important voices in her life. That voice represents guidance, reassurance, and emotional grounding. When that voice suddenly disappears, the absence becomes far more than physical. It becomes emotional, leaving a space where comfort and reassurance once lived. A daughter. Waiting. Right now, Savannah Guthrie is not only waiting for investigators to find answers. She is waiting for something deeply human, the return of her mother. Beyond the headlines and investigations lies a simple longing shared by countless families facing uncertainty. It is the desire to see someone walk through the door again. For Savannah, that moment would mean more than relief. It would mean restoration of a bond that has shaped her entire life. The cameras may capture updates, but they cannot fully capture the quiet hope that lives in a daughter's heart while she waits. The power of simple words. Sometimes the most powerful things in life are also the simplest. In moments of crisis, grand speeches and public admiration often fade in importance. What remains are the basic expressions of love and reassurance that families share. Words like, "I love you," or "you are enough," can carry extraordinary meaning, especially after fear and uncertainty. For someone who has spent a lifetime striving, achieving, and proving herself, hearing those words can be profoundly healing. They remind us that love is not something that must be earned through performance or strength. A story of love and hope. Ultimately, the story unfolding right now is not just about a crime or an investigation. It is about family, love, and the deep emotional ties that connect parents and children. The public sees the headlines and the updates, but beneath those lies a personal story of fear, hope, and longing. It is the story of a daughter hoping that the person who shaped her life will return safely. It is also a reminder that behind every news story are real people living through moments of unimaginable difficulty. Conclusion? Waiting for a homecoming. As the world continues to watch and hope for answers, the most important outcome remains simple: bringing Nancy Guthrie home safely. For Savannah Guthrie, that moment would mean far more than the end of a crisis. It would mean the return of a mother whose presence has defined her life. In a world filled with public attention and endless commentary, the heart of the story remains deeply personal. It is about a daughter waiting for the moment when fear gives way to relief and when love, spoken simply and honestly, can finally be shared again.